Hello all, Erick Hoxter here of chessdaily.net, and today for my novice lesson I wanted to talk about one of the main points in the recent article I just published, 3 ways not to get checkmated in under 12 moves. In this game I'm playing the white pieces, and it's even common, this mishap is even common among class level and club level players like myself. Again, I'm playing the white pieces. We'll kind of just go through the game and I'll talk a little bit about moves I should have made and moves that I'm proud of, and just get into the meat and potatoes of the game. So play e4, e5, and we get into a scotch. This is all normal. And even at 1400, 1500, you should be knowing at least 5-6 moves of a couple openings, and this happens to be one of my favorite openings, the scotch. And he attacks my pawn, I defend it. He ends up playing a prophylaxis move, h6, defending against bishop g5, pinning his knight to his queen, which is seen in a lot of novice games. In this game, I didn't really have that cross my mind. I probably would have played bishop d3 or bishop e3 rather, or bishop f4, and just keep my back rank open to see if I can castle either side or what it is I want to do. I ended up playing bishop d3, which is a move I'm not really proud of. I spent some time thinking about the move. I probably should have played bishop c4, but I guess it goes with Nimzovich's saying about over-defending pieces. Because now he's attacking my pawn once, and I have my e4 pawn defended by my knight and my bishop. And I suppose that's a way of justifying the move. So he develops his bishop to e7, preparing to castle. I castle. He does not. He attacks my queen. And then you can defend it in quite a few ways. You could either defend it with by playing f3. You could bring your bishop back. You can put one of your 2 knights on e2 or f3. And I put my knight on f3. It is a self-pin, but I'd rather have my knight on f3 here. And then maybe play h3 to see what he wants to do and kick his bishop away. I didn't want to have my knight on a central square where it could be kicked away easily with a move like c5. I'd rather be defending these 2 dark squares here in the center. So he ends up actually playing c5, and what I wasn't thinking about in the game, which I was thinking about just afterwards when I was looking over my game, what he wants to do with c5 is attack the center, attack these my dark squares, d4 in particular, and I'm assuming his next move is going to be knight c6, and then playing to d4, and then attacking the pin piece and putting more pressure on the pin piece there. So I ended up playing rook e1, which does nothing about what I just talked about. Again, it puts another defense on e4, and it just brings another piece to the center. It's a natural move. But if I had to go back and make a different move, I probably would have played bishop to e3, or maybe my light square bishop to c4, letting my queen eye up this d4 square and add some protection and help fight for the center, or have my bishop fight for the center in that way. So he ends up just playing c6, knight c6 rather, and I move my bishop to pin the knight to the king, which in turn does defend the central square, d4. And he rapidly plays queen c7, and I'm assuming queen c7 because if I take, he can take with the queen, not doubling his pawns, which is a good thing for him. And I know us novices are scared of having doubled pawns. Not sure how critical it would be, but getting your queen developed is a good thing, and you have your back rank open to castle on either side, depending on how you're feeling. I'm sure kingside castling is probably way more comfortable either way. So I bring my knight in after spending a couple minutes thinking, hoping that he would trade, capture my knight with his f knight, and I would capture e takes d, and then just have the pin here on the bishop and be attacking the knight there on c6. And my opponent thinks for about a minute and makes a critical mistake. He ends up just worrying about the protection of his king and castling. Obviously, this is a big mistake due to knight takes queen, thus winning the game on the 12th move there. And while you have to have your plan of getting your king safe, getting your pieces out, my opponent was spending 5 or 6 seconds on each move in a 10-minute game with no increment, where you have tons of time to really think about, consider all threats what's your opponent's plan, and what should you do before you worry about handling your own plans. My opponent completely neglected it and castled right away, and I won his queen and thus won the game in short order as he resigned on the spot, because being down so much material is obviously unbearable, even at our level where we are going to make, 3 or 4 blunders throughout the game. And my big point in my article was to utilize your time in the opening, middle, and end game. Us novices tend to rush through the end game because we don't understand it. We rush through the opening because we think we just need to get our pieces out and figure things out and see how everything unravels in about 5 or 6 moves. You should really take the time, take a minute or two, even if you know what move you're going to make, unless it's a forced capture or something. Know what move you're going to make, and really understand what your opponent's plan is, and just consider all the options before you make your move. If you have tons of time, you should really be utilizing it in the best way possible. I think at this point I was down to about 4 minutes, which was scary, being only at move 12. But I was really trying to put an emphasis on practicing what I preach and utilizing my time and understanding that I need to be making the best moves possible, trying to understand my opponent's plan, and trying not to make that many mistakes. And my opponent did not. So my big advice here for the novice chess lesson is to really utilize your time and avoid making big blunders like this, because I can guarantee 1 out of every 3 to 5 games you're making a critical blunder that ends your game. I know I do it from time to time, and from time to time I mean probably once every few games. Still, even when I'm playing online, not so much over the board, and it's really frustrating. So really consider how you're using your clock and play better chess, because chess is fun when you win. It's a learning experience when you lose, but I can guarantee you that it's not so fun. And that's all from me. Until next time, be well, my friends.